Hi, good day, Gabriel. Your teacher, Cleberson, asked me to talk to you a little bit about what it is like to go live in a foreign country, and experience a foreign culture, and what it does for you. So, this is something uh, that I would really recommend. Even when you're very young, it doesn't matter. When I was 19, I left high school. I grew up in a very, very small town. So I have no experience of a big city like Sao Paulo or Sorocaba even. And I went to live in London, in England. And for me, this was a very good experience for two big reasons. The first one was that I learned how to speak English properly. English is not my first language, so I understand for you what it's like because English is also not your first language. And so, one thing that happened to me is that as during that year living in London, I became very, very fluent in speaking English. It's a little bit easier for us because we also speak English in our country, but it's not necessarily my best language. And the other thing that happened during this year is that your brain changes forever. It will change you to see the world as a different place. It becomes a bigger world with a lot of influences and a lot of interesting perspectives, which you, as a young Brazilian man, you would not know this. Only when you go live in another country, you speak another language, you see how other people live and how they experience the world. Only then will your world start to change as well. And this is a wonderful perspective that will change you. It will, when you come back to Brazil or wherever else in the world you want to go live, you will find out that you will be a stronger person. You will have more wisdom in a way to deal with situations in a different way because you have this amplified perspective, widened perspective. So this is something that I would really recommend. And if you love traveling, and if you perhaps want to go live in a different country one day, then English will be important. And I think for this reason, it's a very good option. I know that a lot of Brazilian young people from Brazil come to Cape Town because in Cape Town you can. Cape Town is a lot cheaper than going to New York or London or Sydney. So, and it's a little bit more similar lifestyle to Brazil. So a lot of Brazilian people come here to study English. And this is perhaps something that you could explore and look into. And then, yeah, so I went to university in this country, but after that, I lived in other countries as well. I lived in America for a few months, and I lived in Ireland, in Dublin, for 3 years. This is where I became friends with Cleberson, your teacher, and this in that sense, I am a professional. I could work. I could earn money. So when you live in a European country, then exploring all the richness of the culture of Europe is at your doorstep. So this makes it a wonderful opportunity to explore Europe if you can live and work there. And in order to live and work in Europe, you probably will need to speak a little bit of English, unless of course you choose Portugal. But even so, I think countries like Ireland and England in general offer a lot of opportunities for young people to go there. Even if you do silly jobs, you work in a restaurant, you become a barman, you do any kind of small job. It just shows you the world. And even in the beginning, if you struggle a little bit, you're poor and it's hard, you learn about the realness of life. and you learn about the realness of life in a different language. Can you see how complicated that is? And can you see how much you learn? I'm eating nuts. I like the nuts. Yes, so tell me about your thoughts, about about your dreams of perhaps learning English and what you want to do when you learn this language. And share with me a little bit about what's going on in your head, and maybe I can respond with maybe some of the wisdom that I've learned along the way. Anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope to hear back from you. Okay, bye-bye. E falo um pouco português. Se quer falar umas palavras que não conhece em inglês, podes dizer as palavras em português. Ok, até mais.